Hey my fine feathered hiker friends, it's Little Hike Mike, and I'm heading out on a little day hike today on the Neusiok Trail, also part of the MST, Mountain to Sea Trail, and I'm heading into a southbound walk. Not sure how far I'm going to go today, but it is into the Croatan National Forest. So there's a little kiosk. There's Route 101. So I wanted to get a little introduction here. I'm going to leave my truck right there, all locked up. I'm going to do a little day hike today. It's a beautiful day. Temperature is about 60 right now, and it's sunny, no rain, and looking forward to just walking into the woods a little bit. So I'll be back at you in a little bit. Hey everybody, there's the Blue Blaze Trail into the Dogwood Camp shelter. When you're coming from 101, you go south 0.75 miles, take the Blue Blaze up about 200 yards and maybe even less. But anyway, I'm here now. It's got a little well and it does work, and lots of campsites around here. A lot of places to hang from too, if you're interested. Hey, how's my fine feathered hiker friends? I'm going to be heading back to the trail down the Blue Blaze. When I first started backpacking and hiking, it was pretty much right after I retired. And I learned a lot from YouTube. And those people that have put out videos that have done gear reviews and done different videos about hiking and backpacking, and many of them were very instrumental in my choices of gear, my decisions to start YouTubing myself, and just to inspire me to do backpacking and hiking. And one of the first ones I started watching was Shug. And I want to give a shout out to him for mainly his entertaining vlogs and videos and reviews on gear, and everything he does is making his YouTube channel fun to watch. And most of us aren't as talented as him when it comes to vlogging and many of the different things that he does, but I certainly enjoy his talent, his showmanship, and his demonstrative facial expressions and his camera techniques. Everything he does is meant to try to keep our attention. And so that's the first one I want to give a shout out to. And as you peruse around YouTube, you click on various videos. Of course, you're not being very discriminate many times about who you watch. There are many that you watch for about a minute and turn off. And then there are those that are very interesting, a subject that you're interested in learning more about, and so you'll watch it longer and maybe all the way through. And there are those that try to do that and aren't very effective at it, and you end up turning those off too. But there are many out there that I have subscribed to, and I hope you subscribe to my channel too. But I'm not near as talented as Shug is, or haven't learned enough about the camera techniques as many of the other YouTubers have. But anyway, I'm gonna think of another couple. I've gotten to a point where I've come to a little creek here and a boardwalk on the trail, so I want to turn it off and get a little video of that, some pictures. So this boardwalk going over a creek, kind of a bridge boardwalk, helps to keep your feet dry. Now while I'm doing this little video, I don't know if you'll hear it in the background, but we're right near Cherry Point Marine Air Base, and I think they're just beginning their day with takeoffs, and so throughout the day maybe I'll get a little bit more of that. But what can I do to make this interesting for you all as I travel through the forest here? There's some open areas here, which is great because you can see further into the forest. A lot of it's pretty dense, like this side's a little more dense than over here, but some of this has probably been underwater a little bit. But anyway, coming to another boardwalk here. It is pretty dry. I've walked this trail many times, and some sections are pretty wet. But even in spite of the rain that we've got, it's got to have some good runoff to be able to keep it as dry as it is. It's really a pretty day, though. You know, one of the things about this forest is if you get into stands of trees that looks like they've been planted in rows, and that's because it is has been harvested over the years as far as the longleaf pines have. And the longleaf pines go way high, 50, 60 feet high in the air, and a lot of their branches are up high, so they have a good trunk going up. There's a lot of deciduous and conifers in here, but mainly the longleaf pine is the big one. And then there's a lot of birch and oak trees, some maple, and that sort of thing. So as I go through here, I'll try to get a few examples of some other oak trees. But there is some blow down right there and there. And you know, this area is right off the coast, so it does get a lot of high winds come through here off the ocean with hurricanes and tropical storms and such. In fact, I'm coming up on a big blowdown right here. This one's across the trail, I fear. Might have to go under it. Nope. Winds around. That's a big blowdown there. That's a birch tree, I feel certain. I'll verify that. Still growing leaves too. The last tree we looked at was an American beech, and I use an app on my phone called Picture This. And when you take a picture of its leaves or its flowers, generally there's enough data in its database to be able to decipher what you're looking at. So I could do that to practically all the plants. Not every time is it sure, or every time I'm sure that it's sure. But anyway, it's a good app to have. It's called Picture This. So I'll get you some more trees we're going through, but we're going through a lot of longleaf pine. And down by the creeks, there's some different types of trees growing, but a lot of hardwood and pine. I'm not sure if this is protected because of the trail or not, but kind of coming up on mile marker 11, I can see it from here down there. So I've only really gone in a mile. Stopped back there at the shelter. Hey everybody, just wanted to show you I'm into a grove of longleaf pines here and undergrowth, different species. Mainly, this was probably an area had been harvested at one point, and they left the young ones, and probably hadn't been any cutting in here for, I'd say, a good 15-20 years. I hope they don't cut it. Just keep it as pristine as they can through the trail. But that's where we're going. That's where we came from. Everybody, I reached mile marker number 9. We're just short of a forest road coming up in that direction. I don't know if you can hear that or not. That is one of the jets from Cherry Point Air Base in the sky. Anyway, I'm going to keep on going. You can keep on hearing. You're coming up on that pond area. See if there's some frogs in here. I'm sure there are. And some other critters. Anywhere there's water, there's critters generally. But not too far from the road now. I didn't bring my little sitting pad. I just thought of that. Pretty much the only pond we're going to encounter on the trail is right here. This is a nice camp area right here if you want to camp near water. But you can see there was a fire ring right there. It's a little bit overgrown, but good place to set up a tent. We're at like mile marker 8.9. Hey folks, I reached the mile marker 8.7, and it's right at the junction of this forest road, don't know which forest road it is, but we walk east, northeast maybe, and then we come in junction with another forest road, which is a long walk. Not sure I want to do that. I might. It's only 11:54. Can hear that sound of freedom though. Oh, maybe I'll get a picture of one since I'm on the forest road. I'll be walking in the sun for a while, so. But it's cool today, which I'm lucky. Maybe they'll cut a pathway through the forest one of these days for us. Hey everybody. Hey, I just wanted to turn the camera around, talk a little bit more about some of those people that influenced me as far as hiking and backpacking. And another one that I picked up on watching people walk the Appalachian Trail. Tomato, but the purists would probably say Appalachian. Anyway, another guy that influenced me, and I watched him the whole way, pretty much, almost all of his episodes. Can't say I watched every single minute of them, but it's Evan's Backpacking. And Evan's Backpacking, he had some very unique styles when he hiked the trail. I watched him on several of his videos leading up to his hike. And his reasoning behind gear selection and method. And one unique thing about Evan is he walked the whole trail in sandals, which most people wouldn't do that. There's a few out there. In fact, some of them, I saw one guy was barefoot, but I don't know how long he did that or how long he made it. But Evan's unique style was interesting to me, plus he was very interesting in his explanation of everything, very thoughtful in his expression. Now, I've made it to another junction here in the trail, which goes due south, and this is the long one. I'll turn the camera around and show you. This is that long road walk. Big ditch over here with water in it. Pretty sure everything's man-made here. To make this road, they pretty much dug it up, built it up. But I'm looking south, I believe. That's where we came from, though. That's where we're going. I had to get my sunglasses on, get rid of the glare. Anyway, continuing on, you know, just my thoughts about who was influential with me and interesting to watch on YouTube was another guy. I started watching some videos about the Uwharrie National Forest in southern North Carolina near Charlotte, and came across a guy named Early Riser. And since I was going to be going there, I wanted to get a little bit of reference about what the Uwharrie was like, what the Uwharrie National Forest was like, and I came across Early Riser. Well, he was in preparation for his Appalachian Trail through hike, and he was doing, I guess they call it a shakedown hike. And so I liked him. He was pretty influential, pretty interesting. Another word for him would be philosophical. And nothing against Early Riser, but he'd go on and on and on about various thought processes of his through hike and his battle with the demons, the negativities that crop up as you're walking or through hiking a long trail, that, you know, the devil on your shoulder that's telling you to get off, and the devil on your shoulder, or the angel on your shoulder that's trying to keep you motivated to keep going forward. But this is a shout out to Early Riser and his videos. I sure appreciated him. A great inspiration for me. Pardon me. I don't know if I'll ever walk the Appalachian Trail. I've been on the Appalachian Trail several times. As far as through hiking goes, there's some obstacles in the way for me. Not really physical. I believe I could do it, but it has to do with lifestyle and family. But I can buy into it. So anyway, shout out to Early Riser. All right, I'll try to think of somebody else. Hey everybody, just wanted to show you, I stopped for lunch here, and we're right at the junction of where the Neusiok cuts back into the woods. There's the road right there, and that's where it continues south. Anyway, I found a little log I'm going to have my lunch on right here. But where I came across, somebody left their trash. That's wonderful. You know, we're right at mile 6.6. I'm heading that way. I may head that way. Anyway, little bridge across the ditch. And there's the road we just walked down. So I'll be going back that way. Anyway, it's a nice, cooler, breezy day. Nothing real hot, which I'm happy for. If you look at the map, you see where we're at. I'm not sure this longer applies. Anyway, let's get back and eat. Hey everybody. Got my little tripod out and trying it out. I'm sitting here at the junction of the long road walk on the Neusiok, which is about 2.1 miles, maybe more, or 2 miles. And where it goes back into the woods, pointing that direction, it's back into the woods. And that is the road walk right there. I'll turn the camera around, show you in a little bit, but one of the while I'm sitting here, I'm trying to think of some other people that have been influential to me as I got into the sport of backpacking and hiking. And there's a lot of them out there, a lot of people, YouTube channels. I want to give a shout out to the New Bern Outdoor Adventure Club. About a little more than a year ago, in January, I hooked up with some guys that like to backpack from that club. They also, they just have a lot of people that belong to it that are day hikers, and then there's a section of bicyclers and kayakers. But I went on an outing up to Merchant Mill Pond with a bunch of them, and this is early last year in March. And also got an opportunity to go on the Appalachian Trail, and we walked to Damascus 4 trail days, 2019, and we were able to do about 55 miles of the Appalachian Trail on that hike. So it's a shout out to Finder and DIY and Popeye, and these are the guys that I traveled with, and since then I've been on several other outings with them, and so the New Bern the New Bern Outdoor Adventure Club was a way for me to socialize a little bit with other people that have the same kind of interest as me. In fact, DIY and Finder have a class that you can go to in New Bern at the community college, and they host 2 or 3 classes a year for people who like to backpack or would like to learn how to backpack and hike. So this is a shout out to them. Hope you guys see my video. And while I'm sitting here, I want to think of a couple other guys more recently that I have come in contact with, and that's Following Walker's World. And I enjoy his videos. They're short and sweet, and I've watched them a few times, and he does a nice job capturing much of the trail around him and the environment. I believe he lives down in Florida, and there's a lot of nice hiking trails down there, and it's the lowlands, kind of like eastern North Carolina where I'm from. And but anyway, I enjoy his videos, so shout out to Following Walker's World. And then also another one I've been in contact with and follow his channel, and that's As the Crow Flies Hiking. I believe that's the name of it. And I've watched his videos, and they're very interesting. I believe he bases himself in Alabama, and he does quite a few videos, outings. He not shy about putting out lots of content. And so these are a few guys I'd like to give a shout out to right now, and as I think of them, I'll think of a few more that I've really liked. My subscription list is quite long, and I follow quite a few other people in that in the YouTube channels, but there's also a couple on Instagram. One other guy I like to shout out to is Quicksand, and I've been watching his adventure of a Sobo from Mount Katahdin down to Springer Mountain on the Appalachian Trail, and he is quite interesting, and he also is very opinionated and outspoken about his beliefs of what's going on, and recently with the COVID-19, and he definitely is a rebel, and I appreciate you, Quicksand, if you see this video, and this is a shout out to you. And I'd like to hook up with you and hike with you sometime. And also another guy that I've been following this year is Greg P. I believe that's his channel, but I've watched him when he tried to do it in 2018, I believe it was, or 2019, no, 2018. And there was no, it's 2019. Greg P. Started out with, and I followed him religiously along the Appalachian Trail, and he had to get off that year for an injury. And then this year in 2020 started out again, and was going real strong. And man, as a lot of people have had to do, they've had to quit their hike because of what's going on with the most unusual event that's ever happened in modern history of a world pandemic. But anyway, we're all trying to get through it, and I wanted just to give a shout out again to Greg P. and his channel, and also to Quicksand. So anyway, I'm going to keep on hiking, as Quicksand would say, and see if I can't get back to the truck somewhere around 4:30 or 5. All right, talk to you soon. I've just continued on south here from the long road walk. I'm gonna maybe go another half mile and see where I end up. I try to hook up with that place that we ended up a couple weeks ago when we were headed northbound from Oyster Point. This is not it. Getting close though. Boy, my back got stiff there. Sitting down for lunch. I'm wearing my Merrells today, my boots. And normally I would hike in my Ultra 3.5, Lone Peak 3.5 trail runners. But decided to give these a little bit of a chance today to see how they would work if I were to decide to use boots again. But these are my Merrells. Anyway, I've come to this field where they have cleared it for transmission lines. I don't know if these are brand new or what, but I'm sure the trail goes across there somewhere. I'm not going to go any further right now. There's some blazes over there. I'm not quite sure if that's the blaze for the Neusiok or not. 3 red blazes, but it's over there somewhere. But I am going to turn around now. It's 1:41. I've got a about 6-mile trek back, at least, to where the truck is. So anyway, didn't quite make it to the point where we ended up going northbound last week. But I'm sure it's across this field, not very far. So, talk to you soon. Here's what's left of the old boat. In my first video, there was a great big remains of a a big boat that somebody just had left on the side of the road. I think that's part of it. And this is where it is, or was. Anyway, Forest Service decided to take it down. It's one of the highlights of the road walk is the big boat, but it's gone. Oh no.